Wake up to your future like you've never seen before.
Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Wednesday, November 7th, 2018. I'm astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thank you so much for being a supporter and part of FutureLife.tv, where you get these videos every day, plus my 12 horoscopes for the sun signs every week, and of course, Deep Astrology, which is moving to FutureLife.tv. Make sure that you join now at FutureLife.tv. or get a 7-day free trial to try it out. And of course, my Venus retrograde videos are on super sale, $4.95. The Venus retrograde ends next week, but have you learned what this whole entire thing is about with relationships, projects, and especially your self-worth and manifesting aspects? We're not done yet, and it gets pretty crazy here on this final week of Venus retrograde. Make sure that you get this super sale at inclusiveastrology.com. And of course, thanks for being a purchaser of the 2019 Astrology Guide magazine that I put out. You can find it at local retail stores in America and in Canada, especially at your local grocery store in the magazine section, or at Walmart, even at Walgreens. It's at random places. Yes, it's at Barnes & Noble, but that is our least biggest distributor, so did not go to every Barnes & Noble. Definitely check out your local grocery store or Walmart. Those are definitely the best places to find it. And if you hashtag an Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter with a picture of you and the magazine, I'm giving away a free reading at the beginning of each month, and every week a free subscription to FutureLife.tv. So hashtag the Leo King, hashtag 2019 Astrology Guide, and hashtag FutureLife.tv so I can find you. And every week I'm doing a drawing and live show where I'm actually showing who won the Future Life subscription and reading when it comes to the beginning of the month. But before we take a look at all the planets, let's take a look at the Leo King's planet energy meter to understand what all the energy is for your Wednesday. And I'm sending you lots of good energy. I am sending you lots of love and light. And I'm hoping that you have an awesome, amazing, and spectacular, wonderful Wednesday. And because it's a new moon and it's the last day of Jupiter in Scorpio, I'm going to put that energy meter at the extreme position. Boo! 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 I should do it in more of a Scorpio way. Bah! Bah, bah, bah. Yeah, that's right. We're on the last day of Jupiter in Scorpio, which to me is a big deal, especially with a new moon in Scorpio. That is because we are really getting a lot of Scorpio here. And it is a final send-off to Jupiter in Scorpio, as it has been here for a little over a year. And we are getting ready for Jupiter to come into its home sign of Sagittarius tomorrow. But there is a big reminder about this new moon. As we are setting a new intention, there is a deep truth that we have to look at. What did we learn over Jupiter and Scorpio? Well, I think we learned a lot. I think we learned what fears we can overcome. I think that when you actually take a look at your life and you look at what fears you've had, this is where a lot of fears have been removed. And that is because we are stepping into a Jupiter in Sagittarius coming up tomorrow. We now have the nodes which have shifted from Leo into Cancer, and of course the South Node which has shifted from Aquarius into Capricorn. And now we're in this, what is the backbone of our life? Where are we going? And we need to remember, though, in Scorpio, we have to overcome fear. We have to, find our courage through fear. But more importantly, we need to also know how to use our life force correctly and know our desires and try and find control over them, because we're stepping into a major quest. Jupiter and Sag, Saturn and Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn, the South Node here. There's a lot going on. Uranus has now moved back into Aries, so there's this electric energy back in the Martian-ruled sign of Aries about trying to understand who we are, what we want, and especially since Mars is also a co-ruler of Scorpio, there's a lot of Martian energy, especially go look at Mars right now. Now there's no South Node in the sign of Mars. Mars is at really full energy in Aquarius, ready to do all these things, starting to trine over to Venus retrograde. Oh my gosh, talk about all this energy of want and need, and is it on the quest? The big reminder of this new moon in Scorpio is we are about to commit, and we are about to really, either put death or life to things, and we need to really observe all the options before we just hammer it down. We're getting ready for Mercury to start squaring Neptune later this week, and into the weekend we're getting ready for Jupiter to come into Sagittarius, its home sign, where it wants to explore everywhere. But with Neptune being in Pisces, this will be the first time since 1852 that we've had Jupiter in Sag and Neptune in Pisces, so in their home signs. So this is a big deal. We also have a lot going on with the Uranus-Neptune semi-square, which is exact, and now it's with the Uranus in Aries aspect. So we really have to be very clear on this new moon about the intentions that we have, about what we want to transform, what we want to manifest, and what we want to draw into our life. But with Venus retrograde, and with Mars especially starting to trine this aspect in Aquarius, we really need to balance and think through a lot of things before we just kind of, ask for it or want it. There's a lot of kind of carrots being dangled in front of us, especially with Venus retrograde in Libra. We really do need to weigh out a lot before we really do start to make some decisions. There's a lot of karmic energy around relationships and projects. There's a lot of intensity now in the zodiac with a new moon in Scorpio, setting this new transformational experience, setting the tone for this next lunar cycle. I think that it's very important because with Mercury in Sagittarius at its detriment, that we do keep thinking about everything. We keep researching it all, that we don't just, kind of jump into things without thinking things all the way through. And especially with this Venus retrograde, we can be kind of dangled or carrot dangled into these, things that look real beautiful and look exciting and fun. But really, I think Jupiter in Scorpio today, the last day, and this new moon in Scorpio is to remind yourself of the truth about some situations and to also look at how you are using things. Are you using things to really connect with them just for a quick hit, especially with Mars in Aquarius and Venus in Libra and trine starting, or is this more of a deeper truth and learning to understand boundaries? Boundaries with power, boundaries with what we connect with, boundaries with what we are wanting to bring into our life, and understanding that we just can't connect to everything. Especially now that Uranus is in Aries, we just feel like I can do this, I can do that, I can have this. And we start to come into a zone too, especially over the next couple weeks with Mercury in shadow getting ready to go retrograde, with Venus and the rest of its retrograde ready to go direct. We got to be careful to not, I guess you could say the best thing is to not get caught up in just thinking we could just do anything and change anything without really thinking of long-term effects. And I think that this is important for our emotional health with now the North Node in Cancer and with Uranus squaring the nodes exactly in Cardinal, what we direct, what actions we take, and what things that we can commit to and connect to are under extreme, potency is the best word, I guess you could say. So, or fertile, I guess is the best way. We are in fertile territory. So you don't want to just start, I'm going to just do this because you'll make it happen. But I think that the question really answers are you really wanting to do that? Are you really wanting to end this or change this? I think there is still a lot to review, and I think that this new moon is setting the intention for the next month of this lunar cycle to remember there's a lot of things changing, and in the middle of this change, observing, doing your detective work, feeling deep. This is a new moon trine Neptune. So even though that has got a positive of truly trying to follow your gut, I think that the negative always with even a trine to Neptune is there is the subconscious realms that we have to deal with in ourselves and our unconscious selves. Also with the sextile to Pluto, definitely making sure that things that we do create with this fertile energy is in alignment with our true deep path. And especially since Pluto is ruled by Scorpio and with a nice sextile here, we are definitely in extremely fertile energy, whether that's, how funny I get an alert. That is the key from the universe here. Fertile, fertile, fertile. Fertile Myrtle. There's definitely a part of us where there's a whole new game that started, and I think that part of this game is about playing it in a way that truly is about controlling your inhibitions, controlling your desires, and knowing the boundaries. Boundaries are super important. And I think that this new moon is lighting a lot of new things up about transcendence. And the transcendence is using your power and life force for a mission, opposed to more root chakra, basic, quick, instant hits. There's definitely a lot around right now, especially with Mercury and Sag, that wants to just think it can make anything possible. And that is very true in the universe. But we have to think about what is it on the path, and is it something that we're ready to really make rooted in our life? That's the North Node in Cancer now, is we really have to think about like what we're choosing about. Are we ready to take that on and make that part of our house, make that part of our emotional foundation? We have a big mission ahead of us, a big quest that we're all about to join on, and I think that there's a big reminder today to know the boundaries, to know how powerful your life force is, and about the decisions you do make and how intense the repercussions and the positive aspects can be, and to think things through a little longer right before you just go out there and connect with it. Wow, we got the Three of Swords upright as the card. I'm going to put this in a good way. I think that the Three of Swords here with this new moon, interesting that we pulled this card, is that there are some things we want really bad. Or there are some things that, we think are going to be wonderful. But I think that the best part to this card is reminding us, it can feel heartbreaking when we realize that we can lose control over a desire, especially when it tears us off in a direction that is not truly in alignment with our soul mission or where we really want to go in our life. Distractions are high, and then they are going to get higher as Jupiter enters Sag tomorrow and we start to step into, just go look at the forecast for the overall month coming up and into next month. Lots of distractions, lots of, weird subconscious and fog and unclarity. So it's important for us to, before we think we want it, instead of it feeling like a heartbreak and going into something that turns into a heartbreak, that maybe we take the heartbreak of realizing I'm protecting myself, putting boundaries up from places that maybe I don't really want to go in the long term and end in the worst way. I'll take this quick little hit of, I don't really, oh, that sucks, I do really want it, but with a wiser understanding of knowing that you're protecting yourself from the ultimate heartbreak that could come by just not paying attention to all the facts and looking truly deeper at your subconscious realms. Thanks so much for all your support. I truly appreciate the support. Thank you for being a part of FutureLife.tv, and I will see you all tomorrow if you're on the website or the app.
Wake up to your future like you've never seen before.